Bond Performance, Preheat versus No Preheat Application Demo. The purpose of this video is to present the two distinct types of preformed thermoplastic pavement markings and their required, mutually exclusive application methods, preheat versus no preheat. We will specifically demonstrate the bond performance for each type of material based on the application method used. Preformed thermoplastic pavement markings are applied using a propane heat torch and are used primarily because of their durability, appearance, and cost-effective service life. The most common applications are transverse markings, such as stop lines, legends, crosswalks, and arrows, as well as bike lane symbols and accessibility symbols. Some users of preformed thermoplastic generally make the assumption that these materials, even if from different manufacturers, behave similarly because they look similar. Quite the opposite is true. Applying material based on this assumption can result in unsatisfactory product performance. It is imperative to understand that the manufacturer's application instructions directly relate to the specific type of material used. The Institute of Transportation Engineers Traffic Control Devices Handbook recognizes two types of preformed thermoplastic pavement marking materials. 1. No preheating of the road surface to a given temperature is required, and 2. Preheating of the road surface to a certain temperature is required. For preformed thermoplastic, this distinction is necessary to ensure the applicator can achieve sufficient bond while optimizing retroreflectivity and skid resistance without the hand-tossing of glass beads and anti-skid elements, and without scorching the product due to excessive heating. Let's look at two specific application demonstrations. This first demonstration compares both types of products and the outcome of bond performance using the no preheat application method. It is always important to remove any surface debris and moisture before applying the material. Because preheating of the surface to a given temperature is not required, the material samples are placed side by side on the pavement. First, we'll touch the surface to indicate pavement is at or near ambient temperature. The material on the left is a no preheat product, the material on the right is a preheat product. Using the Flint 2000 EX heat torch, heat is applied using a sweeping motion approximately 2 feet wide and 6 to 8 inches above the material in order to apply equal amounts of heat to both product types. Based on the manufacturer's application instructions for a no preheat product, heat is applied equally to both products until the indents in the no preheat material on the left are closed. The indents are heating indicators that provide a visual cue during application that the material has reached a molten state for satisfactory adhesion and proper bead embedment. The material was allowed to cool for approximately 10 minutes. In order to determine bond performance, a chisel test is performed on each product. First, we will test the no preheat product on the left. Tap the chisel to create a small V in the material and pull back that piece to observe. If evidence of asphalt is on the underside of the material, sufficient heat has been applied. As you see here, a solid bond has occurred because aggregate is clearly evident on the underside of the material. Furthermore, the glass bead embedment is satisfactory as well. Next, we will do a chisel test for the preheat product on the right. A small V is created in the material and pulled back for inspection. As shown here, the result is certain to be a poor bond between the material and road surface. Retroreflectivity and skid resistance is also affected. The fact is, a pavement marking that actually requires preheating cannot achieve bond to the pavement without holding the substrate at an elevated temperature, typically 300 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll demonstrate that now. Starting with a clean surface free of debris, we have chalked a section of 12 inches by 3 feet to apply the preheat product based on the manufacturer's application instructions. Using a magnum heat torch at maximum output, which is best suited for preheating the surface, the pavement is preheated to at least 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the surface temperature is above 300, the material is immediately placed on the surface. Scaling back from the maximum output to the preset pilot valve setting, heat is applied to the material using a 2-foot wide sweeping motion 6 to 8 inches above the material. It's heated until the material softens and begins to conform to the pavement surface. Once it has a soft chewing gum appearance and the beads are approximately 60% embedded, enough heat has been applied. The material was allowed to cool for about 10 minutes. We will now perform the chisel test by cutting a small area of material and pulling back to verify proper bond. As you see here, a solid bond has occurred because aggregate is evident on the underside of the material. Furthermore, the glass bead embedment is satisfactory as well. We trust these application demonstrations will help you understand the distinct purpose of dividing preformed thermoplastic pavement marking materials into two types, preheat and no preheat. Optimal performance can be achieved using either product by following the specific application instructions provided with each product. A single product cannot be both a preheat and a no preheat product. A modification to the formulation would be required for a product that was previously bonded successfully through a preheat application process to now be bonded successfully through a no preheat application process. These formulation modifications generally result in a change in status of the product on most states' qualified or approved products lists and related testing requirements. Flint Trading places a significant amount of time and effort in the value of training applicators on the specific application methods so they fully understand the behavior of the material and the proper way to use the recommended tools for application. Knowing that customers' product performance expectations can be met through proper explanation and training is key to the 21+ year tradition of success for Flint Trading. For more information, please call Flint Trading at 336-475-6600. To see our complete line of products, visit www.flinttrading.com.